I'm going to discuss about my experience in a mainstream school and in a deaf school. I'll explain. First, I was mainstreamed in a school. The name of it was Lakewood. You know that? Do you know where that is?
I know
It's
where
like
it is.
in the woods,
I think it is where Doug biked out to be your interpreter. He rode his bicycle. Yes, right. I didn't know where it was, but now I have been past it. So now that I am here, I know. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's the school. That's where Doug, he rode up all those hills. And the school was just like all those woods and a lot of hills. I don't know how he did that. Good for him. I went to that school first. My first interpreter was Doug. He would interpret for me, and it was nice because he would interpret for me, and he was happy to teach students sign language so students could communicate with me. It was very special. We had a special class, even an ASL class. It was 1 or 2 days a week, and that helped with the hearing students to communicate. And I was happy as a kid. I just wanted to communicate, but when I grew up, I realized not many interpreters would have done that in a mainstream school, like help me do that. So I was pretty lucky that I had that. So I continued on, but I was struggling. Socialization. I had an interpreter follow me around all the time. I was the only deaf student, so I really struggled. And even when I would go to like the cafeteria for lunch and just go to eat lunch, and I want to just talk to students, but students would be, the interpreter would be there, and he's an adult, and kids would be not used to, they'd want to talk about kid things, and the behavior would be different, and they'd want to just like not behave the way they would normally would if the interpreter was there. So I struggled with communicating and socialization. When I grew up, and let me go back and explain that I did go to a deaf school in the summertime. It was like a summer school. The name of it is Fair something.
Faribault. Oh.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it in the summer school. But when summer school was finished, I had to come back to Duluth. And I would tell my mom, like, I want to transfer to the deaf school. My mom would just say, no, it's only for the summer. It's too far away. It's 4 hours away, and you'd have to go and live in the dorms. I want you to continue to the mainstream school. And I just would be so disappointed. I wanted to just be happy, but I just continued on. I continued to struggle. I continued to be frustrated in the mainstream school. Till one day, I just met with my mom, and I said, Mom, please, can I go to the deaf school? My friends are there. They have deaf camp. I can go. I enjoy that. I want to be able to communicate with people and friends. And she decided, all right, okay, you could transfer to the deaf school. It was when I was in eighth grade. In 2004.
Okay.
Yep, 8th grade. In 2004, and then I transferred, and immediately I was just happy. I felt like happier than I had felt in a long time. I felt like a different person. In the deaf school, it was normal. Everybody was the same. I had deaf teachers who signed. My football coach, he signed. Everything. Everybody signed. I was so happy. I continued to join different activities and sports. played football and basketball and track and field. I was just doing a lot of different things, and I was happy. I was interested in things. And with football, the football games, sometimes we would even drive to another state. We'd have a competition against another deaf school from another state. When I was in the hearing school, they would stay inside their state. But this was different. We were traveling to different states, meeting all different deaf students from different deaf schools. It was a really amazing experience. I don't know if you've seen it before. Do you know the movie Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
you know
it?
them? Yeah, you know the movies?
You know that?
There's a lot of parallels between a deaf school and Harry Potter's movie.
Hogwarts. Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
Harry Potter. He was in like a mainstream school, kind of like me. Like, you know, his family, he was separate. It was like he had two different worlds, and then he found his wizardly world, and that connected him to everything he had felt like he had missed. Everything just started to make sense. He learned about his culture. It's the same thing with school. Like, it's like different groups. You know, like how he had like Slytherin, and it's kind of the same thing. It's like they had huge tournaments. There used to be huge tournaments, like basketball tournaments in Maryland State or in Washington, D.C. From Gallaudet, they had the deaf school. They had big groups. All different deaf schools would come for these tournaments. And you would see different deaf students from different states all interacting, playing these games and connecting with each other. It's kind of like the movie or the book Harry Potter. It's like kind of the same experience. It's in high school. I had different friends, like different groups that I made friends with them, and I continued to talk to them even after college. Some now are married, some have kids, but we just continued to have a really good relationship. And looking back, I'm just so happy I went to the deaf school. It just helped me socialize and gain an education, catch up. I was totally behind, started to understand. In the mainstream school, I was not socializing. I did not understand. I always had an interpreter. Without the interpreter, I was always struggling. Until finally, when I went, I caught up. I started socializing. It just was nice.
Okay. So, for your mother, it was probably hard to send you away to school. I mean, she felt like she was losing connection with you. Did you contact her by what? It was before email? No, email? You could email?
Yeah, I had email at the time. I'm trying to remember. I mean, we had the internet. I could email her, yes, and I could just use my VP, my video phone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so we would kind of, in a way, video chat each other. You know, I would put a camera in front of a screen, and we would talk. And sometimes my mother would come and visit in person. She would come and watch me play a football game or a basketball game, or if I would get involved in a play and I would, do a performance, she would come and watch. My sister would also come with me, and I would come with my mom and watch me. So once in a while, throughout the years, they would come and visit.
Okay. Did your mother and sister learn to sign?
No. Well, let me explain. My mom married a woman who had a daughter, and that's my stepsister. let me say this again. My mom married a new woman. Maybe my second year when I was at the deaf school, she got married.
Okay.
Her daughter is my stepsister.
Okay.
Most of the time to communicate, we just text, or my mom interprets for us.
Okay. Okay.
My sister I have a niece and a nephew. My sister has 2 kids. So she's always teaching them sign. Like now, she's more knowledgeable about signing, and since she's got kids, and it's nice because we can communicate all together, and she's teaching them sign language.
Yeah. Good.
I have a stepbrother. He's older. My sister, we're the same age. My stepsister, we're 30. We're both 30. My older stepbrother is 33. He learned sign language. He signs pretty good. I have more of a better relationship with my brother. We have a lot of same interests. Like we play video games, and we have the same kind of like relationship. So we sign back and forth to each other. He's pretty good at signing.
Good.
My brother lives in Idaho. He's going to college to become a rocket scientist. At least that's what he's studying. But it's a difficult time, with coronavirus. It's like he's working and college, and he decided maybe he's going to just put a hold on work right now.
Question. So your brother is in Idaho?
Yes. My sister and her kids, they live in Duluth here.
Oh.
My sister works as a hairdresser.
Okay.
And her husband works in IT, technology. They have a good life. I haven't seen my niece and nephew since the summertime. Like we're just being careful with coronavirus and staying separate. So, yeah, time just goes by.
Can you see them on Zoom?
Sometimes. It's just funny because every time we try to use the video camera, it's like they don't just keep the camera on themselves. It's just always moving, and they're just all over the place. It can be difficult, but.
How old are they?
My niece is 5.
Oh, okay.
And the other one, my nephew's 3.
Oh, 3-year-olds are busy going here, there, everywhere. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's always running around. And they just grow up really fast.
Yeah.
You know how moms always say that kids just grow up really fast. It's true.
Yeah. Most days. Some days parents wish they would grow up faster. But not many days.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's true. Very true. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You're right.
So you had 8th grade. Did you go 8th grade to Faribault or not till 9th grade?
Yeah, it was when I was in 8th grade. It was when I was going into 8th grade that
Okay.
I transferred to the deaf school.
So you had a good 5 years there, which really helped your signing, your friendships, all the sports you learned. Had you played sports when you were here in Duluth? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was part of clubs. I enjoyed. One of the things I enjoyed was playing. My mom would interpret when I played soccer. Some of the soccer team would sign, but before it transferred to the deaf school, I played soccer. And in school, in like physical ed, in class, we would play dodgeball. And I broke my leg. So I couldn't play soccer anymore. I was so disappointed. But I still would go to the games. I'd have my crutches and I'd go and support my team. And then when I transferred to the deaf school was when I played football later.
So your leg healed, okay? It's okay now?
Oh yeah, it healed. It's healthy. That was a long time ago. I'm healthy now.
Good.
3 years later is when I broke my toe. I was playing football and I just broke it, like a really bad break. I had to go to the hospital and they had to do surgery.
Oh.
It took 3 months for me to get better.
Your big toe?
Yes, it was my big toe.
Oh, I never knew anybody who had surgery on their toe. You are special.
Yeah, looking back, football is a crazy sport.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the really great experience. It's just, it's very, you can struggle. It's very can be painful. I kind of changed my perspective on football. I don't think I would continue to play it. I would probably have picked another sport than football. But it's in the back of my head that maybe if I have kids and they want to play football, I'm going to say, maybe you should play a different sport than football. I'm going to try to encourage them to choose
My
different
husband
sports.
played football in high school. And in practice, his junior year, somebody came and elbowed him in the cheek and it knocked it in. He had to go to the hospital. But he played his senior year. I didn't know him then. So it was hard. Oh, the time is gone. Time is gone.
Oh man, it's 4:30 already.
Yeah, good. Good to see you. Hello to everybody.
Enjoy your walk. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
See you later.